Well, here we are at beautiful Cache Lake, and it's time for viewer mail at Muskoka Seaflea. Our latest email is from Paul and Emery Woods from Lake Wawashkesh, Ontario. And Paul sent us a great email, and he has a couple of questions for us. And he said, how far back did you place the seat, and how high is the bench cushion off the floor, approximately? Well, Paul's building our Mini Most XL, and I thought, well, the best way to tell you all of these things, Paul, is to show you on the Mini Most XL that I built, and we thank you for your kind comments. So I'm just going to take you a tour here, Paul, and give you some measurements, and maybe that'll help you with your build. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my tape measure here, and I'm going to put it from the frame there, and the seat is going back approximately, well, you can see that, no, I don't know, somewhere between 29 and 35 inches. That's kind of where it's placed there. That seems to be good for me and my kids and two adults who fit in there. So yeah, about I guess to the center point of the cushion, it's about 33 inches there. Next question Paul has for us is, how high is the bench cushion off the floor approximately? Well, that's a really good question, because when I had this stuff upholstered for me from a really nice guy in Barrie, I thought, well, I'm going to make this really thick and cushy here. The problem was this, that I used 4-inch foam on this, and it was way too freaking high, and I couldn't get my, I don't know, I just couldn't fit in. So what I ended up doing was I ended up cutting my cushion in half. That's the foam underneath here. And so if you look at the actual height of this cushion, it's maybe 4 inches high, maybe 3 inches, just very, very small. And in fact, when this goes in to the boat, it actually sits right on the floor there. So I'm just going to pause my camera here and put it in on the floor. Okay, so I've got my camera set up in the tripod here, and I'm going to show you, Paul, what I actually did with this whole seat configuration thing here. I actually put some tracks on the back part of the seat here, so I can raise it up like that there, and these are simply drawer slides here that I attach to the back, which means I can raise and lower the seat here, push it into position, and it's very stable, and then I can actually pull it up like this. The only problem is, to keep it up from sliding down, I have to use one of these boat bumpers that I made, and I just kind of tuck that in there, and that keeps it into place. So in terms of the gas tank, it's kind of a regular 5 or 6 gallon gas tank, or 20 liter, and it fits very snugly underneath that cavity there. So I'm just going to sort of shove that back into place there. Goes into there like that, and then I simply raise the seat here and then drop that into position right there. I'm going to go around the back of the boat here. There we go. So that'll give you a better look at the seat. It's not too fancy at the bottom there, and this is simply 1/2 inch or 5/8 inch plywood, and it simply sits right on the floor here and just fits like that. So like I said, the first version of this, it was too thick and I was sitting way too high, and it was very, very uncomfortable. So Paul's next question here is, how much of your legs go through the opening in the frame when you're driving? And what's the distance from the center of the steering wheel to the right side of the cockpit? Well, these are kind of very good questions, and I got to say, when I was setting up all of these distances myself, I'd actually be sitting in the boat when it was half made and with a tape measure and trying to figure out what was right. So I'm going to show you what I did here. Okay, so in terms of the steering wheel distance there, that's the frame piece that I made, and instead of the steering wheel in the center here, I put the steering wheel off to the side as a regular or traditional boat would have. So if I actually measure, hang on, things are going to get a little shaky here. There we go, there's the center of the steering wheel right there, and to the actual cockpit side, it's 12 inches. So that seems to be enough for me to actually fit in and steer things. Do I actually fit in there? Well, let me show you here. I'm just going to move over to the other side of the boat here, and let's get in. So if I step in the boat here, and there's my muddy feet there, do my feet actually sit underneath? Well, in fact they do, and this was one of the reasons that I had to lower the seat part of the cushion here, because I couldn't get my bum sitting close enough to the floor so my feet would actually sit through. So if I just shuffle over there, that's kind of me driving the boat, and my feet actually, let's see, there we go. So there's my feet sticking out there underneath the bow of the boat, and there's the other junky safety stuff and the ropes that are underneath there as well. So I hope that answers your question. Paul also went on to say, any pics of the interior boat in any state of construction would be most welcome for spacing, sizing between the driver to reach the wheel and leg room. And I think I kind of showed you all this, so you know, I can be driving along like this, and you know, shifting the gear thing like this, and my tachometer there. So I hope that answers your question, Paul, and I hope that answers some questions for builders of the Minimost XL. The last thing I want to show you is a real find. Most viewers of the website know that I'm a true fan of the dollar store, and you know, getting some really cool stuff there for boats and whatnots. Just have to show you what I bought recently. I got these doohickey things here, and if you notice, these sort of look like boat bumpers, but they've got little crosses on them, which I guess are supposed to look like bones or something. In fact, these are at the dollar store here, and they're made by Team Realtree, and I'm not promoting this company by any means, but for about, well, the dollar store is not really the dollar store anymore. I don't know what these were, like $2.25, but these are things that you actually throw for your dog to train it to return things, and they make perfect mini boat bumpers for Seafleas. So I bought 2 of those, and they fit very, very perfectly. So I was really quite pleased with these little mini boat bumpers that I didn't have to pay a fortune for. So anyway, there you go, Paul. I've had this XL out on the water a couple of times, many times actually this summer, and still enjoy it. So keep seafleeing, people, Paul and Emery, and hope to see your boat at Flea Fest 2019. We're working on a date for that. It'll probably be somewhere, second or third week of July 2019. So we've got great things happening. Already planning for Flea Fest 2019, and I want to see everybody there. So I don't know, I don't have a catchphrase to sign off at this Muskoka Seaflea podcast, or whatever you want to call it. So just keep on fleeing. No, that was really bad. How about Seafleas? No, never mind. Just okay. See you later.